Hello and welcome to this Big Orbit Cards unboxing video. I'm Chris and today we'll be unboxing another Eldritch Moon intro pack. This one is Dangerous Knowledge. It's the blue-red intro pack, which is quite interesting. So let's crack this open. Did a better job with this one at least. Yeah, and this one actually comes in a nice blue box. So you get your 60 card deck. So like I said, it's blue-red. The idea is that you have lots of creatures that have things like prowess. Seriously, those packs never open properly, do they? Let's chuck that over there. So you have lots of creatures with prowess and then lots of spells that you can use to bump them up. So your foil promo is Nibless of Frost. So it's a spirit. 3/3 with flying and prowess, and when you cast an instant or sorcery spell, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So this can lock down creature heavy decks by itself. So it's pretty good and should work well if you're playing lots of spells like in this deck. Bedlam Reveler, so it's the one that costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard, so it could in theory just cost 2 red if you've cast a bunch of spells. Also has prowess, and when it enters the battlefield, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. So if you play it as the last card in your hand, you just straight up draw 3 cards. Pretty good. Sanguinary Mage with prowess. Thermo Alchemist, you can tap it to deal 1 damage to each opponent, and then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, untap it. So that's pretty good. It's essentially just Chandra from the flip Chandra from Origins. Another prowess creature, Nibless of Dusk with prowess. Weaver of Lightning has reach, and when you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 1 damage to target creature an opponent controls, so can kill off their board, as well as tapping it as well if you need to. Pyre Hound, put a 1/1 counter on it. This one's pretty nasty, Mercurial Geists, so 1/3 flyer, but whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +3/+0 until end of turn, so you could be swinging in for, like 10 damage or something after casting 3 spells, flying, so pretty insane. And can't attack unless you cast a non-creature spell this turn, so it's 6/6 for 6. But in this deck, you're pretty much always going to be casting non-creature spells. And you got your land, and then onto the slightly bigger chunk of the deck actually, which is the instants and sorceries. So counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. Galvanic Bombardment's pretty good. It's 1 mana, deal 2 damage. Or 3 damage if you already have 1 in the graveyard, or 4 damage if you have 2 in the graveyard, and so on. Take inventory, so draw cards equal to the number of cards named take inventory in your graveyard, so the more times you cast it, the more cards you will draw. Incendiary Flow, deal 3 damage. Pretty good because you exile a creature if it dies. Convolute, drag under, piece of the puzzle. Geist Blast. Kind of fun, so it deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and you can exile it from your graveyard to copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy, so yeah. Make Mischief, Shreds of Sanity, and that's Devil's Return to Ashes. Pour over the pages, so drawing more cards, and Rise on the Tides to get zombies for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. So yeah. Overall, this is a pretty interesting deck. Yeah, just lots of interactions with having, the instants and sorceries and things. And I want to try and build something similar. You could easily make this deck more consistent than the intro deck would be. Some great cards in this set. So we're going to crack over the packs. So the idea of the intro packs is that you have your 60 card deck, and then you also get 2 booster packs in there as well. So you can use the booster packs to build further onto your deck to try and make it more consistent or just better. So ideally you're looking for colours from your deck. So we've had like the Lab Brute, Put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard when it enters. So 4 mana, 3/3. But it's good for Delirium. Enlightened Maniac. When it enters the battlefield, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horror token onto the battlefield. So you're essentially paying 4 mana for 4 of stats. Yeah, I can count, honestly. But over 2 bodies as well. Make Mischief, so there's a couple of those in the deck already. Maybe add in a third to make it a bit more consistent. Borrowed Hostility, so it has Escalate, one of the new mechanics. So pay 1 red, or you can pay 3 extra to get the second effect as well. So target creature gets +3/+0, or target creature gains first strike, so not too bad actually. Curious Homunculus, I love this card. So this is one of the flip cards. So 2 mana, 1/1, you can add colorless to your mana pool, spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells. This would actually be really good in this deck. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard, transform him. So that's really easy to do in this deck as well. And he transforms into Voracious Reader. And I love the artwork on both sides. So he has Prowess, 3/4, and instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So it's actually a really, really good card to put in this deck. Sunbolt Stag, Vexing Scuttler, Give No Ground, and Sanctifier of Souls is the rare. So when another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Sanctifier of Souls gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. And you can exile a creature card from your graveyard, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So he essentially activates himself by paying 3 mana and exiling a creature from your graveyard to pump himself up. So, yep, pretty interesting first pack. And the second one. So, Convolute is actually pretty good counter spell, actually. So, counter it unless its controller pays 4. Unless it's really, really late in the game, nobody's going to be able to pay 4. So, yeah. You probably wouldn't want too many in your deck, but, you know, it's a pretty good counter. Spontaneous Mutation, it's alright, I suppose. And if you've got instants and sorceries, and you're playing a lot of them, then, yeah, the enchanted creature would get minus quite a bit, because you'll have been putting quite a lot of cards in your graveyard, but, yeah. Chilling Grasp, tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step, so it's a really good tempo card. Costs 3 mana, and you can discard it and pay its madness cost. So it costs more if you discard it, but if you're forced to discard a card, you can just play it anyway. Incendiary Flow is actually really good, and we've already got one in there. And Nahiri's Wrath, a nice mythic, very nice. So 3 mana, sorcery. As an additional cost, to cast Nahiri's Wrath, discard X cards. Nahiri's Wrath deals damage equal to the total converted mana cost of the discarded cards to each of up to X target creatures and or planeswalkers. So you can use this as a really nice board wipe by discarding, you know, maybe 1, 2, 3 cards to target 1, 2, or 3 creatures respectively, or planeswalkers, which is also really good. The fact that it actually targets planeswalkers is actually probably why it's so good. Yeah, I mean, this could definitely go in this deck really as a one-off, or even 2-off if you get your hands on a second. But that's a good one to pull from this pile. So yeah, that's the intro pack. You've got the deck, you've got the booster pack cards, and you could, yeah, definitely build a fun semi-competitive deck from these. I'm actually very tempted to pick one of these up, to be honest. Just it seems like a fun deck to play. Anyway, so remember you can buy and sell all of the cards you've seen and the rest of the Eldritch Moon set on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. And yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the videos and the channel. Yep. So see you again next time for another unboxing video.